So, radical changing verbs in Spanish. Most radical changing verbs are only in the present tense, although there are some that change in the past tense as well. Just have a look at some examples. This one you'll have known from year 7 probably. The example is jugar. Now, when you say the word jugar, the accent falls on the U. If you say jugar, okay? And this one changes from a U to a UE because of the way the accent falls. So we have juego, juegas, juega. Those three change. The I form, I play, juego. The U form, juegas. And the he, she, and it form, juega. Jugamos doesn't change because the accent's on the A, not on the U. So jugamos, can you hear it? Jugamos. And jugáis is more obvious because the accent's actually written on the letter A, so you can see where the accent for the word falls. So those two don't change. And then the last one, the third one, juegan, changes on the right hand side there. So we've got jugamos, the we form, doesn't change. Jugáis, the you plural form, doesn't change. And juegan, because the accent again is on that first vowel. Sometimes these are called boot verbs. I've not drawn them really well here, but you can see there's a little boot around there, so you can see that it's the I, you, he, she, and it, and the they form. Sometimes they're called 1, 2, 3, and 6 verbs. For example, because it's the first person juego, the second person juegas, the third person juega, and the third person plural, the they form, juegan. So sometimes they call that as well. So the we and the plural forms, there's no accent on the U, so those two don't change. How do you remember these? Well, let's spell remembering right, that would be good, remembering. These tenses have the same endings as the present tense. The endings are the same, it's just at the beginning bit, it's normally the first vowel changes. So if we have a look here, we've got jugar as we've had before. Another one, some of them change from O to UE, like poder, to be able to. Puedo, I can, but again the we form wouldn't change. E to IE, like querer, to want, quiero, I want. This one's slightly odd because it's preferir, but the first E doesn't change, it's the second E for this one. So prefiero, so the E goes to IE. And verbs like pedir goes from E to I. Pedir, to ask for, pido, I ask, or I ask for. Unfortunately, there's no magic trick, you just have to learn them, and whenever you see a verb that's got the vowel underlined, often I'll write above it what it changes to. So you just need to learn them really. Common ones we've got are jugar, to play, so they go from U to UE. Volver, this one goes from O to UE. Pedir goes from E to I. Querer, this first E goes to IE, to want. Preferir, to prefer, the second E on this one goes from E to IE. Poder, the O goes to UE, to be able to, poder. And dormir, O to UE, to sleep. So those are ones that are really common. Remember, the endings for AI and I are the same as in the present tense. It's just that these first vowels, or in preferir's case, the second vowel changes. More advanced then, you might have a look at the radical changing verbs in the preterite tense. If they radical change in the present tense and they end in IR, they will also radical change in the preterite tense. Not any other tenses, just the preterite. But they do change slightly differently. So pedir, for example, ends in IR. It does still change from E to I, but instead of having the 1, 2, 3, and 6 forms, the I, the you, the he, she, and it, and the they forms, in the preterite tense, only the he, she, and it, and the they forms change. So if you have a look here, so pedi, I asked for, pediste, you asked for, and then we have the change. Pidió, he, she, and it asked for. Pedimos, we asked for. Pedistes, again the accent's obvious there, so it's not that one. So you asked for, plural. And then we have the change again, pidieron. So in the preterite, if it's an IR verb in the present tense and it radical changes, in the preterite it will also change, and it only changes in the he, she, and it, and the they form, which is unlike in the present tense. Okay, good. Well, thanks for listening.